Good morning, Cindy here, and today I want to talk to you about one of my most favorite plants. This is Berkeley Sedge, and it's a grassy type of a shrub, and I have them all around my garden here, and they just add such a fun element to the garden. They kind of remind me of like little flouncy skirts out here, like Dr. Seussish, and they can take the heat. They made it through our Arctic blast. They don't mind our limestone soil. The deer don't really like them. And so I think they're a wonderful plant. And today I am going to plant some more in another part of my garden and take you along with me. I'm going to pan across this garden bed here in my backyard, and you can see all the little Berkeley sedges. These are about 3 years old, and they are in the blazing hot sun all day long, and I think they are looking fantastic. I have quite a few here. They are a great filler for a big garden bed. So I feel like they look great. And another added benefit is they will spread underground and make new ones on their own. There's a new one, and there's a new one. And if you don't want those, you can just rip them out, but I'm not going to do that. I think they're great. And in the wintertime, they look like this too. So let me get my shadow out of there. I also have some drift rose back behind them, and the wonderful ponyfoot that is a really nice complement to any garden, that nice silvery gray look. So this is the area that I will be addressing today. We are going to do some planting in here today. There were 2 large shrubs on either side of this walkway going up to a fire pit area, and they died in the big freeze we had, and they just got up really tall, and that wasn't the look I wanted. I want low shrubs for this walkway. I'm currently growing Asiatic jasmine here, and this is a fun variety. It's something called snow on the roof or something like that, but it is Asiatic jasmine, and it has the little white leaves too. And then here's just the traditional Asiatic jasmine. So I'm hoping that will fill in both of these beds, but I do want to add a little bit more going on in here. So I'm going to put 4 right down the center of these Berkeley sedge, and 4 going down the center on this side. And there is a drip system underneath here. You can see a little bit of it poking out there. So I thought I would take you along while we got these planted this morning. I am going to have a little help from my husband digging the holes. Okay, let's get going. So now that we have them placed where we want them, you can see I have a hole there on the end. I am going to have to go buy one more. Now I'm going to kind of pull back the mulch, and we're going to start digging holes. Okay, so I've got the mulch all pulled back, and we're still locating the drip, and then we're going to start digging our holes. So we've come up against some pretty hard limestone rocks, and so Mark, my husband, is going to get the rock bar out. Look at this rock bar, and it is very, very heavy, and it is made just for this job. So here we go, Mark, pound away. Okay, so it's the next morning. We got too hot and we had to stop. But we have all the holes dug. We have a lot of rock pulled out. I want you to look at what we poor people here are dealing with. Piles. Look at what came out of these holes. But because we can amend the soil with good backfill, it's going to be just fine. So the next thing I am going to do is fill this hole with water all the way up. And then I will watch and see how quickly it drains. If it takes too long, then I need to pull out some more limestone. But if it's fairly quick, then this plant will have good drainage. So that's the one thing about all plants. They want good drainage, especially this Berkeley sedge. All right, let's see how quickly it drains. So not too quickly. So apparently we're going to need to take out a little bit more limestone. It is a very slow draining hole. So Mark is coming back in and pounding out more of the limestone, and if you watch, it will slowly start draining. There are some bubbles. There it goes. All the rest of the holes have been finished. They are draining beautifully. And now it will be time to start planting my beautiful Berkeley sedge. So let's get planting. So I'm going to show you a tried and true formula recipe on how to amend our soil here in Central Texas. So this is our soil, and it is nutrient deficient. It's just high alkaline, lots of limestone. This was what we pull out in the bottom of each of these holes that I have dug. And so I try to make a hole that is twice as big as this pot. And so that's what we've done, but now we need to fill it back in. So I've pulled out the native soil. This is what I got out, minus the limestone. I'm going to put all of my native soil here in this pile. And by the way, I always like to mix my soil on a big tarp because then cleanup is so much easier. So I will be adding a third of this wonderful organic compost. This is a wonderful amender for your soil. It is rich and nice and fluffy. You can see it's made up of all kinds of broken down materials. There's no big pieces of lumber or sticks in here. I have definitely found products that you open that up and you wonder, how do they sell that? And then I will definitely add in a cup or two of my expanded shale. This is a product I've talked about multiple times. Every time I plant anything, I put this in the bottom of the hole, and it is keeps the soil aerated and keeps the water in longer. So I'll talk more about that another time. And then I will put in a cup of my secret formula, MicroLife Multipurpose. So I will put in a cup of that. I will put all of these things together and mix and mix and mix. And that is a wonderful soil amendment for your soil and your plants. Okay, so I'm going to start putting things together and mixing my wonderful formula for happy plants. So I just put the MicroLife fertilizer in there, put in a cup of that. And now I put in a cup of expanded shale, 1 cup per hole. Okay, I've mixed up my dirt, and now I'm going to I'm going to fill each of these holes about 3/4 of the way full of this amended soil. I've already got the shale, expanded shale in the bottom of each hole. I've already got my fertilizer in, and now I get to do the planting part. Here we go. Now remember that you want to plant them high, about 1 inch higher from the ground, because they are going to sink. And if they end up too low, then they will die. So you got to plant them up about 1 inch higher than you think. Okay, here we go. So it's filled up quite high, because it will definitely sink in a very short period of time. So you always plant high. Just wiggle your pot, and you can see we have some roots that have been going round and round in a circle. So I just like to tease them a little bit and let them loose. Oh, they're so happy to be loose. And I want them to not go around and around in their pot. So I want to send some going that way and some going the other direction. And then I'll kind of make a little bit of a hole here and set it down. Now I'm going to look at that, and I'm going to say, yep, that looks like it's about 1 inch above the ground level. Okay, and now I've got this is another great thing about having your prepared soil on this tarp. I can drag it wherever I need it. Okay, and then after I fill this back in, I'll give it a good drink of water, and I'll put the drip system. So the drip, I'll just wrap it around, and I use my little pins to keep it secure. And I'll put a bag of mulch on top of this, and this project will be finished and ready for show. So I'll come back in a little while and show you my finished garden. Halfway done, let's keep going. Okay, so now I'm going to give everyone a drink, and you can see that there is one missing. I am going to have to go back and buy another one. We measured 2 short, 1 short. So pretend like there are 9 here. Here we go. While I'm watering the plants, I'm going to water me too. Very important to stay hydrated. So I've decided that this video is getting pretty long, and it'll be better if I break it up into 2 parts. So the next part is going to be about how I install the drip system and putting on the mulch. So stay tuned. Thank you so much for joining me this morning while I planted these beautiful Berkeley sedge. And please come back and join me in my next video. And if you like content like this, would you please like and subscribe for more? Have a great day. Bye-bye.